I will no longer be competing. Yeah, that is weird to say, but yes. Don't know how to start this. This is like... Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Chen Yang here, and I hope you guys are all doing well. So, catch up time. If you have been following my Instagram, you may have seen that mentally it's been a bit rocky the past few months since coming back home. Yeah, a lot of existential crises, a lot of me just questioning various different things in my life, and I thought I would catch you guys up on this because perhaps you may find it helpful for those who are maybe around the similar age as me and you're just trying to navigate your way through life, kind of find out your purpose, what you value, what you want to do. I feel that this may be relatable but also helpful in terms of what I have done and what I have found really kind of made me realize what I wanted and what wasn't serving me perhaps. So how do we get started with this? Let's just jump right in. You guys know that I've been competing for the last 2 years. This is probably giving it away now, but yeah, so I think my identity and my perceived identity of who I was myself was very much attached to the stage of, you know, the process of being a bodybuilder, living as a bodybuilder. Yeah, everything was just so meticulous around that goal. And that was cool. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I think I grew so much as a person through the last 2 years, and a big part of it was due to bodybuilding. And it really did serve me for the last 2 years. I really found what I was passionate about. I learned so much. I have so much knowledge from experience and also from my coach, from the people around me, from what I have invested in terms of knowledge and just training and everything. So like, that is something that I am just so grateful for. But I realized that 2 years later now, the person I am now is so different from who I was 2 years ago. And what brings me a lot of value, what I really value in my life and my goals and everything have changed. And I think it took me a very long time to come to terms with that. I think deep down I knew, but because again, this was my reality for the last 2 years, more than 2 years, you know, it's been my reality for so long that I didn't think there was a different reality that was possible. I thought that, you know, if I am a bodybuilder, I have to be one forever. You know, if those were my goals, if I had set these goals for myself, that they had to be the same goals, I had to keep going for those because that was what I tied my identity to. And that, without realizing, that had caused me so much overwhelm. And that was the reason why I was having all these like crises. Like, I would wake up every day just questioning everything I was doing, because deep down I think I knew that I did not want to compete anymore, at least not for this year. But I wasn't allowing myself to come to terms with that and to accept that. So a long-winded sort of way to say that I'm not competing this year. And it is the right decision. I now know it is the right decision. I've been back and forth on it for a very long time. And one big reason was just due to my health. When you compete, you're pushing it to a point where it does not want to be, in terms of how lean you get, in terms of the amount of training you're doing, the little food you're eating, the little fuel you're giving your body. It's in a place where it's really not happy. And you know, some females don't get affected by it as much. Like, they're able to rebound pretty easily after their shows, you know, their health and their markers, their hormones just kind of come back to baseline very quickly. For me, that hasn't happened. My body, I think, is quite sensitive to dieting. It really doesn't like it. And the level of body fat that even I was sustaining, like during my cuts and stuff, it didn't like it. And that is just genetics. I think that is just, you know, each person is so individual. And I know that my body is happiest when it's around 58, 59 kgs and it is in a sufficient, you know, maintenance or building phase for a very long time. as soon as I start dieting, my period disappears. My hormones just like, I get my hormones checked quite regularly now and my blood's done. My estrogen literally just becomes undetectable as soon as I start dieting. And it's really annoying. And I think, you know, for the last 2 years, because I was so focused on my competing goals, I brushed this aside and I knew it was a sacrifice. Like I think, you know, in life, you are going to have to make a lot of different sacrifices. I don't like using the word sacrifice because sometimes people associate sacrifice with a negative connotation, but you do have to give up one thing to achieve something else, especially if you are trying to achieve things that are extreme, okay? If you have an extreme goal and an ambitious goal, you are going to have to learn to sacrifice certain things and you're going to have to be okay with it. Nothing wrong with it, to be fair. And so, you know, for the past 2 years, I sort of just brushed my hormones aside, and the fact that, you know, my estrogen was not where it should be, my thyroid was just not okay either. I brushed it aside because I had this goal of competing and I was so laser focused on that. But I think now I've come to a point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I've always known deep down that I do not want to be a professional athlete. That was never my goal. I love the challenge that bodybuilding brought, and so I wanted that challenge and I wanted to experience it. And, you know, part of the challenge was, oh, well, this is tangible pro card that I would love to work towards because I know how hard it is, especially as a natural female. And that was exciting to me. But I think the last few months, you know, I've really just kind of dived into a lot of just like exploring what my values are, what I want to do with my life. And I realized that actually that goal was actually not really aligned to what I value. I really value health. I really value balance. Really? Every time I try to sit down and speak, something happens. Anyways, I really value health, balance, and all that. And you know, I know that with bodybuilding, balance is not really a thing, and I was okay with that for the last 2 years, but I think now I'm like, okay, I'm in a point in my life where I want to experience more things. Whether or not I get that pro card is actually no longer something I really value or hold up to such, like, you know, it's not something that I want to chase anymore, just because I've realized that the last 2 years, I have had to sacrifice a lot of things that I also really love in life, to be able to be the athlete that I wanted to be, okay? You know, everything was so meticulous. Every action, every thought, every decision I made was based around my training, my food, my shows, you know, like everything was planned out. And I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy that because I'm a type A person, I love that. But at the same time, I realized that there were a lot of things I was putting on hold in my life, which I was fine with then, but now I'm not too fine with. And again, this was something that was really, really hard for me to come to terms with, because again, I felt like I was almost letting go a part of my identity. Like, you know, I think it's the mental aspect of being like, well, if I don't compete this year, or if I don't have that show in mind, what am I doing with my life? Like, what have I been doing? Like, why do I train? Why do I eat in certain ways? And I think it came down to realizing, no, actually, like, I enjoy this lifestyle, but there's a very big difference between living this lifestyle and having these personal physique goals maybe and performance goals versus having goals based around competing and actually being judged and having to fit a certain criteria, and then obviously having to eat and train in certain ways to meet that criteria. And I think that was the kind of line that I just found really hard to figure out myself. So I think that's also what was causing me so much overwhelm, because I don't think I actually wanted to compete this year, but I made myself believe I wanted to, if that makes sense. So, you know, every time when I'm training, I love that feeling and I'm like, okay, cool, like I'm training hard because I want to get back on stage better. But then as soon as I'm out of the gym, I'm like questioning things. I'm like, no, this is not what I want to do. Like, I enjoy training because it's part of my lifestyle, you know, I like pushing myself, but something wasn't sitting right. And I couldn't pinpoint what it was until literally last week. I had a few conversations with people at my gym about things, psychological stuff going on about, well, if I've amounted so much effort already into this competing journey, I can't stop now. But it's like, well, if I don't stop now, when will I ever stop? And I think what made me okay to make the decision of just pulling out this year, and maybe in the foreseeable future, who knows, was that your goals are allowed to change because you are growing as a person every day. especially at this age, I think we are learning more and more about ourselves, what we value, what we want in life. And we have to experience different things to truly understand what we do want. And you know, I experienced bodybuilding and I loved it, but I think right now I realized that it's not really what I want this year. At least, yeah, not this year, maybe not next year. I want my health to be functioning. Like, I want my hormones to be in place. It's something that causes me a lot of emotional stress. Like, I end up crying when I talk about these things because it really does bother me that, you know, when I see my future, I want a lovely family. Obviously, I'm still very young, but I want a lovely family. I want a long and healthy life with the people I love. And part of that is having different experiences, being a bit more spontaneous, not being so regimented with how I'm living. And, you know, I'm not bashing bodybuilding. I love the sport and I think it's really great. The skills it cultivates and the discipline and the mental grit. And I love routine, but I also wouldn't mind, you know, dashes of just spontaneity and not having to have every sort of decision and action I make so meticulous towards a goal, because you do have to be that way to compete and excel for those goals. But you know, my goals I think have really changed, and I have finally been able to accept that that is okay. And you know, I was journaling a lot the past few weeks, and what kind of came out from that was it's okay to realize that what used to serve you does not serve you anymore. And I think as humans, sometimes it's hard for us to come to accept that in a lot of different ways in life, right? Perhaps it's a relationship that no longer serves you, but you hold on to it because you've been in it for so long that you just feel like you can't step away anymore because it's been so many years, right? But you know that it no longer serves you. It doesn't bring you the happiness that it used to do. It doesn't bring you the value, the joy. And I think that's what I've realized with bodybuilding, is that I have gained so much value from it already. I am a completely different person from it, and I'm always going to be so grateful for that. Oh, now the postman is here. It's so awkward. I'm just gonna... Well, you know what? I don't care. Hi, I'm talking to my camera. Anyways. Oh no, I do care. So awkward. Oh, I don't care. Anyways, so... you know, I learned so much from it. I don't think my work ethic would be where it is right now today if it wasn't for competing. I wouldn't have the business I have today if it wasn't for competing and for this journey. You know, I really would not be the person I am today with the discipline, with the drive, with this routine, if I had not competed. With this confidence, you know, it all came from competing, really, from bodybuilding and what it taught me. You know, bodybuilding also taught me that if you want to achieve great things in life, it takes time, it takes consistency. Oh my god, so awkward, he's here. Basically, those parcels weren't mine, they're from the old owner. But then I think since I bought this home, I've had so many parcels just coming in, they're not even mine. I'm like, have they not updated their address? Anyways, where was I up to? So yeah, I've learned so much from bodybuilding, and it really did serve me so much the last 2 years. It made me grow into the person I am today. It made me realize how important self-development is as well, and personal development and working on yourself. It also, you know, taught me, again, as I was saying, that it takes time and consistency to achieve great things in life. What you do today is not going to reap results maybe tomorrow, but in a month's time, 2 months time, 3 months time, you slowly see it unfold. And that has been, you know, like life-changing in terms of realizing that, because again, like, that has helped me with my business. It's helped me with so many different things in life to understand that you cannot seek that instant gratification, because it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the effort for everything in life. But I think because I've gained all this now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, I actually want different things. I have taken what I needed from bodybuilding and I want to move forwards now. Like, I think this year, like, what I wrote down was this year is about experiences. It's about doing different things. It's about doing the things I used to love that I kind of stopped doing because I was so invested in bodybuilding. And a lot of this actually came through my therapy sessions. My therapist asked me, like, what brings you happiness in life? Like, what do you like to do outside of bodybuilding in your business? And for a second I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? She's like, what did you used to do before you started really diving into bodybuilding? And I was like, I used to love cooking. I still love it. I love baking. I love cooking for my family. But I guess I stopped doing it because I just started seeing food as like, oh, I have to eat this certain way to reach that goal, to compete. Like, I cannot be arsed with this. It's too much effort to try to bake things now. Yeah, I kind of just brushed aside because I just got lazy. And she was like, well, why don't you start cooking a bit more and like trying different recipes? And I was like, I guess it's because like I'm just so focused on this bodybuilding goal that, you know, if I was to play around a bit more with food, I just feel like it wouldn't work. Like it just was a bit unsettling for me. And I was like, I'm on this meal plan as well from my coach to compete, to do these certain things. And she was like, do you think that's bringing you happiness? And I was like, well, yes, because I'm working towards these goals of mine. And then she was like, is that still your goal? Like, is that goal something you really want so bad that you're, you know, happy to be doing these things that perhaps are neglecting other areas of joy in your life? And that made me realize actually what used to serve me before this goal of the stage actually no longer serves me, because it's not bringing me that happiness that it used to bring me. And then she said, you know, what else do you love doing? And I was like, I love traveling. Like, I love exploring different countries, cultures, meeting people. I love that shit so much. But obviously with COVID, I haven't been able to. And she was like, well, why don't you travel now? And I was like, well, because I'm going to start prep soon. So it means I only have like 1 month or 2 months. And then I have my business. I can't leave it right now. It's in a place where right now so much is going on that I feel like I couldn't pick myself up and just go. And then, you know, I could work whilst abroad, but then I need to make sure I have a gym, like a really good gym with all the equipment I need, because I'm going to start prep and you know, every session counts. I need to make sure that I have a, you know, place where I can cook, and I have to have like, you know, groceries ready. And then she was like, again, does that make you happy? And I was like, I guess for the last 2 years, yes, but now not really. And she was like, what would it mean to you if you could just pick yourself up and go and have a holiday and work abroad and not have to be so meticulous about every fine detail of your training and your food, because, you know, you don't have that pressure anymore? Like, what if you just did it because it's your lifestyle and you want to stick to that plan, but it's not a pressure to? And I was like, you know what? Didn't think about that either, because I think I just got so used to this life, this reality that I thought I had to stick to. So yeah, like that was just on my mind for so long, and I couldn't pinpoint why I was feeling so overwhelmed, so stressed, literally so depressed for the last few months being back. And I think it was because I didn't give myself time to sit down and really address what I wanted deep down. And I think I was kind of trying to run away from that lingering thought of, Chinyang, you don't want to compete this year, you want to do other things. And I didn't think that was okay. Like, I really did not think like that was okay for me to admit. But then, you know what, last week, it was literally like 10 p.m. I was like about to head to bed, and I was like, no, this needs to come out. I messaged my coach and I rambled, bless him. But I was like, look, for these various reasons, one, my health, I don't think it's a coincidence that my hormones come to a normal base level, still not optimal, but at least a base level when I am 58, 59 kgs, when I am, you know, have been in a good building phase, or I have been eating quite a lot of calories, when I have been doing like barely any cardio and I've been really resting my body a bit more. I don't think it's a coincidence that's when things seem to start getting better in terms of my health. And then I don't think it's a coincidence that now when I get my bloods tested again, when I'm on a cut, my estrogen is again yet not detected. Like, you know, I think I have disregarded this for so long, but deep down I knew. And I was like, you know what, I've actually had enough of just disregarding this, and I've realized that my values and what I really find important is very different now. And I don't think it's that goal of competing is no longer worth it, because I realized that I want to get my health back on track. So that was one reason. And another reason was because I genuinely, I think, have just kind of fallen out of love with bodybuilding. I'm not gonna lie, I love the sport, but personally I think I have fallen out of love for competing, like myself on stage. And I think part of it is because my energy is so focused on my business right now. I love my business, I love it to bits. There are so many things I want to do, and you know, I know that I can do two things simultaneously in both things. Like, I've done that before. I bloody hell had another job, I was working 2 jobs and competing and built my business, so I know I could do it. But I know that that was a sacrifice of my social life, of rest, of being present, you know, actually living my life. And I'm at a point now where I'm like, I am very lucky to be working a job that I love every day, to have my own business. I'm very lucky to be in this position. And I actually kind of want to make use of this freedom I have created for myself to enjoy life, to experience life to its fullest. And I would not be able to do that if I was trying to compete at my best as well whilst running a business. And I think we all have limited energy, and it is about, again, that sacrifice of what do you want more. And right now what I want more than anything is to continue building up my business, continue impacting lives, because that is what brings me so much value and joy. Putting more energy towards that, hiring a new coach, expanding, just literally changing as many lives as possible. And then on top of that, experiencing my own life. Like, I realized that I was so invested in just changing others' lives and impacting others' lives that I totally neglected what brought me happiness personally besides business, right? And that is the things that I enjoy: going out with my friends, like, having a bit more downtime with my family, like not having to be so meticulous about everything, traveling, like, oh. Yeah, so I realized that things have changed, and that's okay, and I have come to accept that. And you know what? I think you have made the right decision when you have that feeling where like something's been lifted off your shoulders. Like the next morning when I saw my coach's message and he was like, hey, that's okay, because I was so scared of what he would say. I was like, oh my god, I'm being such a bad athlete right now, everything I've done is for nothing, I'm gonna disappoint him. He literally said the kindest things, and I was really surprised, because I guess I again made up all this stuff in my head about what would happen. And he was like, hey, you know what, I wouldn't say that anything has gone to waste, and just because you don't compete this year doesn't mean all of your hard work wasn't worth it, because this off season I really have given it my all. I've done everything to the T. And he was like, you know what, there's nothing wrong with taking 2 years off. You don't have to compete year on year, and next year you'll probably have created even better systems with your coaching that you're going to have a bit more time for yourself, and if you want to compete you could. And then he was like, you know what, it's also very understandable, because right now you are in a very different place from when you first came to me like 2 years ago. You have a completely different job, you have your own job now, you're in a different country, you have built a very good life for yourself, and naturally when that happens you evolve, and I can't expect you to be in the exact same position and be the same person. And I think hearing that also kind of just reconfirmed to me that, okay, I made the right decision, because when I saw that as well, I just felt like this massive load was lifted from my shoulders. I was no longer feeling so depressed and anxious every morning. The past few months I literally would get up and I just couldn't get up. Like, it just felt like something was holding me down into my bed, and I just could not get up. Like, I didn't know what my purpose was in life anymore. I was questioning my existence. I spoke to my mom about it, and I was like, I don't know what the purpose is. Like, what is the point of living? Like, I don't understand. And she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know what the purpose is of my life right now. Like, I don't know. There's nothing for me to wake up to. I don't know why I'm waking up every day. And that was a really shit place to be in. Like, it was scary, because I was like, is this all to life? And that feeling, all that, just disappeared instantly when I saw that message the next morning. And that's when I realized, like, holy crap, this was it. Like, this was the reason why I was feeling this way, because I was preparing myself to do something that I actually deep down did not want to do. And the thing that I was going to do competing this year was going to take away all the things that I wanted to do this year, which I knew was traveling, experiencing life, going out, just having a bit more fun. Training because I enjoy training, not because I feel overwhelmed to perform in a certain way to look better on stage this year at a certain date, so many different things. And I just felt this instant relief to be like, oh my god, I can have all this energy. I don't have to dread like how I'm going to feel in a few months time. I can plan a holiday and not have to stress about exactly what time to do it at, because I have to align it with my dieting and my prep and stuff. So yeah, like that feeling, it's so strange, just how impactful things going in the background of your like mind can impact how you feel on a day-to-day basis physically. Like, I was feeling so tired and just burnt out, and then the next morning I just felt alive again. And ever since then I've been getting up so much earlier naturally. Like, I have not changed anything in my life besides that decision. I'm up like at a normal time again, well, my normal. I'm enjoying the early mornings, my morning walks again, my morning routine, my reading, I've been starting to meditate. Like, it's crazy what change that made. And I think if you take away anything from this, is that it's okay to have your goals change in life. It's okay to want different things. It's also okay if what used to serve you before and what brought you happiness and joy and value no longer serves you, because you are constantly evolving as a person, you're constantly growing, and you're going to learn more and more about yourself as well. And naturally, when you become a different person, when you evolve, different things are going to serve you at different times, and past things may no longer serve you, and that is okay. So I guess, yeah, that is what I have realized. And yeah, it was a I think it was a big sort of like chapter of my life that I kind of just was scared of letting go of. And this is not to say that I will never compete again. You know, maybe like in a few years time when I've done all my exploring again and I'm ready just to like have some more like rigid routine, and I want to do something that's really challenging again, which is going to involve sacrificing a lot more other things. I may hop on stage again, because I do love the process and the challenge. But right now, moving forwards is getting my hormones back in place. I'm on quite a few supplements now just to help naturally with my hormones. I'm pulling back all cardio, so I am reverse dieting now with my coach. I'm still sticking with him because I really do value having a coach in my life. Further down the line, I may just look for another coach who's not so prep focused or competing focused, more lifestyle. But I do think it's important to have a coach, especially like if I am a coach and I preach like investing in yourself. It just wouldn't make sense if I didn't have my own coach, because I also want to invest in myself and have someone there to push me further as a person, both in my fitness, my physical goals, my business goals, my mindset, all of that. It is really like a whole personal development journey, I think, when you have a right coach. So I want that for myself as well, because I know the benefits of a good coach. But for right now, I'm sticking with the same coach. I'm reverse dieting, just basically bringing back up my food without putting on too much unnecessary body fat. But obviously I do also understand that to get my hormones back in place, I do need more body fat, so I'm completely okay with that. But I just want to maintain a good body comp as I slowly put on more fat and just get a bit bigger. And naturally it's going to be winter, so that's fine. I'm totally okay with putting on some more body fat, like health first. Yeah, and then I will be planning some travels, so it's going to be summer in Europe soon, so I'm hoping to do some traveling around there again, because I haven't been in just traveling in so long. That's like personal life wise. And then business wise, I am hiring a new client success coach this month, which is super exciting. Just it's time that I also, you know, get someone else on board. It's been something I've needed to do for a very long time. If you watch like one of my videos, I think at the start of this year I already mentioned that, but I'm someone who's very protective over, I guess, my coaching business. I'm also very like, I think it's the quality of service that I've always been very like dialed into. So I've always just been so scared about like, oh, if I hire someone, what if I can't control the quality of service? Because I know what I give, but how can I make sure that this person who joins will have the exact same vision, will have the exact same way of coaching and philosophies? And I realized like it's not about not taking the action of hiring someone because you're scared that service may drop, but it's just about finding the right person and training them up and making sure that they do have the same philosophies as you. And I've done a few interviews and I think I have found the person, so I'm very excited to get her on board. And it just means that we can help more ladies, we can be a stronger unit, because I know the amount of value that my in-house psychotherapist, who was like my first official hire, has given to the community. Like, she has made so many amazing breakthroughs with my clients that it has been the best move possible. And I know that having an additional coach is again going to bring even more value, so I'm very excited about that. So that is, you know, the future plans. And yeah, like I'm excited to just explore a bit more in life. I've studied yoga as well, just a lot of different things that I've kind of wanted to do that I just have not done. I'm gonna get back into guitar as well. So yeah, like I really am just, this year is about just enjoying life a bit more and doing things that aren't so, you know, I guess so like ingrained into my routine of bodybuilding. Obviously still gonna train and eat the way I do because I love this lifestyle and I love this structure it gives. I love, you know, how you can set your own goals and you work towards those and become a better person. You can have your own physique goals, your body goals and strength goals, and you work towards those. I love that. I think that's really important regardless of whether you're competing or not. So yeah, those are kind of my life updates. I need to give you guys a house tour actually. Sorry, this video is all over the place. I do understand that. I was going to like write down like what I wanted to talk about, but then I was like, you know what? You get what you see here. And I think that's always been my kind of ethos with my vlogs, with my coaching, with everything, is you get what you see. I'm never going to be someone who tries to stage anything or tries to make anything perfect, because people aren't perfect, life isn't perfect, and I want you guys to also realize that. Something I also really emphasize with my clients, like, life is not perfect, you can't plan everything. So this is a bit of a ramble, but I hope that it has updated you guys and it's cleared some things. But yeah, I will no longer be competing. Yeah, that is weird to say, but yes. Let me give you guys a quick house tour. Actually, no, I'm gonna show you guys later, because there are still some things that have not been done. I've been a bit slack with actually decorating things, because I do want to be moving countries at the end of this year. That's another update. I'm going to be moving across the world, not to England, but a different country for maybe a year or two. So I'm not going to deck out this place too much. It's more of a I'm going to rent this place out, so I don't want to be buying heaps of things. But there are a few bits and bobs that I will get whilst I'm here, so I will give you guys a house update later maybe. So we'll keep this one nice and short, just a nice quick update. And yeah, I hope that this was somewhat interesting. For those who have followed me for a while, you probably find this interesting. For anyone who's new to this channel, you're probably like, how did I land on this video? What the hell is this girl talking about? Goodbye. But feel free to check out my other videos, and then you'll probably understand the background of this. But yeah, so overall, like, new chapter of my life beginning. Ready to take the business to the next level, ready just to experience life a bit more. Another thing I really want to do is host like a real life event with my girls this year, maybe in Bali. I've looked at some Airbnbs and they have some really cool options, but again, it's just hard because everyone's so like spread out. But that has always been a goal of mine. Ever since I started, I was like, I just want to host like some sort of retreat where you can bring like-minded people together who are passionate about the same things to get to know each other, just make each other better in every possible way. Yeah, so that is a goal. Hopefully, maybe this year it will come true. Who knows? But I have enough energy and time to be really investing into that now, so I'm very excited. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching until the end. If you are still here, like, I really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, make sure to give it a like. And subscribe if you are new here and you somewhat enjoyed my ramble, even though you probably don't know much about me. But yeah, no, very exciting times ahead, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog, probably a full day of eating, or just, yeah, we'll see what we come up with. But I have a lot more time to invest into YouTube now, so I am excited. And yeah, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week ahead. And if you guys don't follow me yet on Instagram, that's cz.fit. Feel free to connect with me over there. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye!